what's going on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm waiting for my herbs and spices to kick in.
Oh no, your special herbs and spices.
Yes, I got a herbs and spices blend, some cinnamon and some cayenne pepper and some, I think this is lavender stuff, and some potassium and some magnesium, because we're all magnesium deficient nowadays.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So and you know what? I learned that low magnesium increases cortisol levels, which increases anxiety and stress.
Well, but I mean, I thought it was stress and anxiety that releases cortisol.
Yes, but the fucking magnesium deficiency only amplifies the situation. So I'm just gonna eat all the goddamn magnesium in the world now.
Right. Okay. All right.
All right.
Oh, it feels like it feels like everybody needs some magnesium.
I'm just gonna be eating all the magnesiums. It tastes like chalks.
Right, yeah.
And I'll get some of that liquid magnesium and spray it on my feet.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
That's a lot of vitamins.
It's gonna be, yeah, I'll probably end up ODing on magnesium.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you don't want to do that either.
Good morning, everyone. It is February 23rd, 2024, and this is the Rage Into the Vlogs.
Oh my goodness.
Us.
Yeah, it's us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You ready for this?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning. Good morning. Hold on, let me save my file here. So yeah, I'm just working on, what page is this? Page 27 of Eager Raven issue 11.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. Especially since I thought I had forgotten to leave space for a scene. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to add pages to this issue just to make it up. But yeah, I know. But all I had to do is just rearrange from some dialogue and kind of tweak my layouts a bit. And I was able to so everything's going to fit in 32 pages. But I was, it was looking a little hairy there for a second.
Look a little furry there for a second.
Yeah, exactly. But no. So yeah, I'm just saving this file here. So who's joining us today on this dreary Friday?
I don't know why they want to be here. Let's see, we got Mike, Jimmy, we got Michael. Good morning, guys.
Good morning,
Rob Multari. Michael said, I found the name of the vlog theme music and added it to my YouTube music playlist to jam to. Oh, dude, look, if you really want an interesting one, look up Kurt Chill Deathcore.
Oh, the
cool. Yeah, we used that one for the porn channel for a minute. The porn channel that was.
I miss House of Bob. But I think
Fern in HR.
Hello. Yes, and hello, my beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. Yes, we do see you. And if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from LinkedIn, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Keep everybody company here. It's a lot easier for us to talk on YouTube than it is
sit in my lap.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like. There's a lot of people. The visual. No, don't give me a visual on that. No, don't do that. Oh my goodness. So yes, come on over to YouTube, and while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when ever any of our videos go live. So yes, so I guess introductions all around. So, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
And no, after all these years, no, we do not have our shit together. Hello, Johnny. Hello. But I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter later this year. Oh, there we go. Which returns to Kickstarter later this year with the re-release of issues 1 through 5 of the new story arc, Tears of the Mother, and the brand new issue 6. So that's coming on later this year. And currently, I am known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is in its last week on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter for issue 8 out of this 15-issue story arc closes next Friday. So if you haven't pledged yet, what you waiting for? And thank you everybody who have pledged already to the campaign. Thank you so much. Like I said, we have a week left. Links are in the show notes below. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics, about 500 something videos. Jesus Christ. You can check it out here on YouTube at my own channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's magnesium poisoned Nita.
Yes. So my name is Nita Lanning. I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger, and I have the Google account that runs the Indie Comics Network. And it's a channel on YouTube and across social media where we bring you daily comics centered stuffs.
Yeah, we try.
I'd say educational, but it's only sometimes educational, sometimes fun, and sometimes it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. So it's like, oh, my brain is full. My brain has been full for like the past couple of days. You know, so it's like, so please, this is just me giving everybody a warning that I'm going to be all over the place again.
Oh, good. You know what can prove that, Daphne?
What happened? Oh, magnesium.
Magnesium. A good magnesium balance.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So actually a couple of so the main thing that I was like kind of like fussing with actually, you know what? Let me start off with this one. This is for everybody. Everybody.
What you got?
Are you all okay?
Yeah. No, they're not.
Everybody okay? The creators are not okay out there.
No,
they are not okay. A lot's going on, and it's like is everything in retrograde?
Yes, Mercury is in retrograde. Your toenail is in retrograde, and the moon is full.
Yeah, I know. It's like really. It's like, I mean, it is just kind of like weird how everybody's
got hemorrhoids up their ass. Everybody got migraines and all this other thing.
For real, you know, everyone needs magnesium because
everybody needs magnesium and seaweed. Yes, that's right, HR.
Exactly. You know, because I mean, anxiety. Oh, JT. Oh, JT's okay. There you go.
He's not calling any of his exes.
Don't call any exes.
I wouldn't be calling any of my exes either with that nice thing you got by your side now, man.
There you go. Yeah. No calling exes. They're exes for a reason.
Don't do it, people. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You know, but I mean, really, it's like, you know, and it all just seemed to happen.
Heathen bath salt. Don't smoke it.
Yeah, you know, and you know what? And it's like, yeah, and I just want to ask. It's like, you know, everybody, okay, JT's okay.
Y'all good?
Okay. You know, because
Same.
I don't know. And it's like, oh, Rob's saying, nope, just high functioning anxiety and self-induced stress. Same here.
At least it's functional, because I swear, like, I was paralyzed last night.
Right. You know, and I'm just kind of, you know, and it's like, I know that for me, it's like, I've been like feeling really like on edge ever since I ran every time I run a campaign, I'm always on edge.
Of course.
And even though it's like, oh, so Mike is decent. Yes. There you go.
Well, he's living in the future. Give it an hour or two to catch up.
Oh, that's true. Yes. And it's like, yeah, so I always get kind of like heightened anxiety during a campaign, right? Because that's just like staring at almost like your impending doom, kind of, it's like, oh, will I be able to reach my goals, in whatever amount of days that,
right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you see, I think that's part of the problem too. People are not keeping busy, and they're allowing their brains to go places that they don't need to be going in because they're not busy.
Just mind your business and do your work.
And so I was like trying to just figure out, it's like, oh, well, what's the common denominator of all of this? Because aside from Mercury and retrograde and everyone needing magnesium,
everybody's magnesium deficient.
Yeah, but I'm kind of wondering, like, if one of the things, if something that's going on, right, is that we forget our why. We forget why we do this, and
are you about to spank me, Daphne?
No, but the thing is that like, I think that this is I'm just kind of wondering, right? Like, we get into this, we put our stuff on Kickstarter, and no matter how hard we try not to, or at least I try not to, which is funny because yes, I will be contradicting what I was saying on the last
well, that's what we do. God dang it.
Yeah.
If you can't be a hypocrite, why be any crit?
Right. Well, I guess.
So go with it.
Right.
It sounds smart.
Yeah. So, like, even though I try not to let it get to me, it's like running a Kickstarter campaign is like running a horse race. And a lot of times it feels like you're on the last horse. That it's like sometimes
you are, and its name is Death.
Yeah, I know. It has no name actually on a horse, no name at the end. And it's like, and I try not to let that, because like I said, it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm in competition with people, because I do so. It's like, I'm not doing. It's like, I'm just doing my own thing, right? So who am I really in competition with? But at the same time, though, it's like, I think what happens is that if we do, we do this and we kind of like get wrapped up, I think, on what we feel like a Kickstarter ultimately represents for us, right? Is that, like I said, it's like, I think a lot of us have forgotten our whys, or at least if you haven't forgotten your why, at least just reinforce it, because like I said, it's, something's in the air. Because what I've been really seeing is that people have put validation so far ahead, it's almost the book is unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's like if they don't get validation, the book doesn't exist. Kind of like if a tree falls in a forest, right? And nobody's there to hear it. Does even the forest exist if there's nobody there to see it, right? And it's and it just seems like very easy where it's like we wrap up our personalities and how much validation we can get. It's like, oh, I work so hard, I should be getting this amount of validation or something, and and I kind of think that that's probably that might be what's going on, that it's like people are doing their books, they're doing their comics, they're putting out on Kickstarter or whatever, and it's like they feel like they're not getting the validation that they feel they deserve for the work that they do. And because of that, everyone's bugging out. and that's, and that was like a question that I had ended up writing down just so I could remember it, is that, what, when it's like with your why, right? On why you're doing this, how important is validation? Like, if you were to do your comic and you just did it and you were pretty much the same person at the end of finishing your comic as you were at the beginning of doing your comic, would it matter? We've heard people say that it's like a high horse. Thank God it's Friday, Paul. That's for sure.
Does it matter though? We're all fucking freelancing and shit with part-time jobs in the real world.
Yeah, but it's
full-time
kind of funny.
jobs in the real world. What does Friday mean? What does
Mondays mean? Right.
You know what Monday means? Monday means fuck, I have to wake up. That's what Monday means. Right.
But technically so does every other day.
Well,
like we've seen people who say that, like take the Ringo Awards, right? Like the absolute feeding frenzy that happens when the Ringo Awards pops up. Right? And it's like, okay, it's like, to the point where we've seen people say that they're going to quit comics because they didn't get nominated for a Ringo.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a lot. Oh my God, especially this past year.
Yeah, especially this past year,
And some of you are still here. I thought you were leaving, buddy.
And it's just like, it's such a strange thing to say, especially when like, you know what it is? Like, one of the disappointments that, I don't know if it was a disappointment, but like realizing that like things like the Oscars, and like they have to be like campaigned for. Like, it's not like a judge, a panel, says, okay, like we feel that these are, no, it's like the studios, the studios, like they nominate their own shit technically.
Right.
And it's like, and then they campaign like politicians as to why, this album, this should be album of the year, or this should be movie of the year or something, or whatnot. And it's like, I don't know, like for some reason that kind of took the taste out of getting an award.
Right.
And the thing is, and especially with the Ringos, when I was looking up the Ringos, it was just like, oh, I nominate myself?
You can.
I
believe you can also be nominated by others.
By a publisher. You have to be nominated by a publisher.
Oh, so that's anybody with a label in their basement, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it's just
popularity contest.
So it was just kind of like, well, technically any awards show is a popularity contest if you boil it down. Yeah. That's why Beyonce has never won album of the year.
Well, she don't get it this year. Yeehaw with that country shit. I'm telling you, watch. Watch.
Oh no, I will put money she won't get nominated.
I don't know.
Rob brings up a good point. Awards are bullets, your audience that matters, right?
Yup.
And that's also something that's been really kind of like hitting me in the head, right? Especially after this last campaign, my whole Viking Slut campaign. That it's like, in the end, it doesn't matter what you sell. You need an audience to sell it to. And if you don't have an audience, it doesn't matter what you're selling. It could be the most on-trend thing, right? That if you
build it, they may not come.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And I think that also people are kind of like freaking out over that as well. That it's like, it doesn't matter how on trend you are, or it's like, oh, well, this, that, and the other thing. But if you don't know how to build your audience for that, it's like, it doesn't matter if you're on trend. If you've never built an audience that knows you're capable of doing that, do you really have an audience for that thing? So So it's like, so watching everybody kind of like bug out in terms of, it's like, am I valid? Is my work valid? Which kind of in there, it's not that anyone was saying that specifically, right? It's just like that was kind of like, I don't know, and maybe I'm projecting. I don't know, because
project away. Everybody else does, so go for it.
That it's like, like there has been a downturn in crowdfunding.
Absolutely.
Unless you're very, very specific people, there has been a downturn.
Even those very, very specific people, we've seen their numbers
right.
decrease. It just doesn't affect them much.
Right, exactly.
What is 10,000 out of $500,000?
Right. It's like when the speculation that Brandon Sanderson on his $40 million campaign is he might have lost like approximately $10 million in uncollected pledges. And it's like, at that point, it doesn't matter.
I don't mind people being like, oh, I was nominated. You can vote here, link, that's fine. Because, okay, if nothing else, awards are good to get you into conventions, because these con runners see award-winning blah 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 blah. They don't go and look up every fucking show. They just look up your fucking creds, and somehow that'll qualify, whatever. Okay, fine. Asked to be nominated, whatever. Make that post. But the titty baby posts that come after, I didn't win a Ringo and I deserved one. No, bitch, if you deserved it enough, you would have fucking walked away with it, but you did not. So just let it go. Congratulate the winners and move the fuck on.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's just,
I'm in a mood.
Well, I think we all are. Well, I think that's kind of the problem. We're all in a mood.
Hasn't kicked in yet.
It's like we're all in this mood where it's like everybody's freaking out because, like I said, it's like, well, yeah, that doesn't help either. Everything's getting expensive.
The economy's shit.
Crowdfunding isn't making the type of money that I guess certain people got used to. I mean, and the thing is though, is that the second round is comics pros. Yeah, comic pros are going to vote for other pros. I mean, that's always. I'm going to start an award called the Mies, and I win everything. Congratulations!
Can I at least be fucking nominated for a Mies, please?
Right. You'll be nominated for a U. Working on company logo, it's a hard nut to crack. Many names are taken. I have done change. So right. I mean, branding is difficult. Branding is difficult.
But branding is everything. If anything outside of your actual creative process, you need to look into that. Is it right there?
Yeah, it's branding. But but yeah, so it's like I said, it's like my mind is kind of jumbled. So I'm finding, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of people have forgotten why they're doing this, why they're here. And I don't know, they're mad because, I don't know, they're treating it like a job. Maybe.
I mean, to some people, they want it to be a job.
Right.
But the reality is the people that are able to actually stay at home and do this full time are so few and far between. It's like rare. The comics book equivalent of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
You have to stop setting your expectations for failure.
Right.
That's what it is. Yeah. They said you can't, even when you set the bar low, like, oh, I just want to make enough to survive. Bitch, you'd be lucky. You're lucky if you make enough in a month to buy a week's worth of groceries for your family.
Especially nowadays. Jesus.
Like seriously.
So
if you're not in love with this, you should seriously go somewhere else.
That it's like, there are easier ways to make money than crowdfunding.
Yes, you can. We discussed this before. You can prostitute, you can sell drugs. There are so many.
No. I mean, there are plenty of other ways.
You could check people out at Walmart. You can't even do that no more because the machines took your jobs. I mean, I'm sure you can go to Target. You can go to Target, some bougie mom and pop shop.
But what's funny is that considering what the average Kickstarter makes, remember 75% of comics Kickstarters falls between $1,000 and $9,999. You might actually make more money working at Target. But
and there's always OnlyFans.
Oh my goodness. So true story. So
Only Pete?
So especially like the last couple of days, people have just been bugging out, and it's like, and I just want, I don't know, it's like it kind of like maybe, nobody has a realistic view of making comics, and I think that that's really part of the problem, is that everyone's freaking out because whatever imaginary version of their life that they thought they were going to have crowdfunding is not materializing. And they're freaking out. At this point, Rob is saying, at this point, I'm just happy to break even because my wife would kill me if I spent any of my full-time income on comics. Yes.
I bet you still do. You sneak it, don't you, Rob? Just,
don't get Rob into trouble.
His wife's not watching me. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Although your mom watches this, so I ought to be careful. Yeah.
Well,
maybe she does. Holy shit. I don't know.
My mom?
Mm-mm. Rob's wife. I know your mom watches this.
Oh, yeah, Jim. Mom watches. Hey, Jim. So it's like, I think that we all just need to step back, take a breather, and like really kind of remember
smart man
why we're doing this.
Right.
And it's like, because it's like, if validation is what you're chasing, you're really not doing comics. You're not doing this. I mean, it's like I said, there are always easier ways to make money. So it's like there has to be a certain expectation when you want to get into a creative industry. JT, I'm in it for the imposter syndrome. What a coincidence!
That's the best part.
And what's funny is that, how true is that? Because it's like, it's like people, because imposter syndrome is thinking that you're succeeding when you don't deserve it.
Right.
And you're just faking it. And it's only a matter of time before people find out that you're a fraud. Right.
Isn't that what we're all doing?
Or you're on the Dunning-Kruger spectrum where, you think you're actually better than everybody when you're actually not. And it's only a matter of time before people find out you're a fraud. Either way, it's kind of like...
What's the middle? We need to come up with a term for the middle.
Magnesium deficient.
No. Balanced.
We
would have, because
we need to balance you. We need to balance our neuroses. Because it's like, why it's like, I guess it's because like I got into comics young-ish, around like maybe like 16, 17.
There you go.
So it's like I got into comics that, young, and and then it's like it's kind of like stayed in the blood ever since, right?
Right.
But it's like, but the thing is, when you're 17, 18, you're prone to making stupid decisions anyway that stay with you for the rest of your life.
No,
so
for sure.
Some people do student loans. I did comic book production. So, so I guess it's like, so I got in during a time where I literally didn't have to think much about it. That it's like, okay, so it's like, this is something that I'm doing, right? And in the end, it's the middle ground is check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah, that's sure, that'll work. But it's like, but when you're coming in older, you would think that the expectations would be more realistic, especially when you're coming into an industry that's as volatile as any of the creative arts. Wow. Where it's like you can't blame the stupidity of
volatile and straight up fucking violent.
Like, really.
I know y'all seen the threats flying around.
Really,
people shit.
People be fighting like I better not see you at a convention, type of shit. It's like, holy shit, Mike Tyson was right.
Jesus Christ.
So, so it's like, so you would think that there would be like more of a more calculated thought process, but no. People are coming in with these expectations that I had and outgrew when I was like 17, 18, but they're still having it now. And
Get in this corner.
Yeah, I know. And then it's like, yeah, and then it's like when things kind of like doesn't go the way they want, it gets weird, because it's like, bro, like, obviously your expectations are out of sync with what the reality of the situation is. And so, but again, it boils down to like, how much is your process dependent on validation? And I guess it also depends on what your definition of validation is, because for some people, the validation is the money, the amount of money they make on Kickstarter. So when that starts to dip, they start to panic.
Right.
It's like, oh, that means I'm being less validated if I make less money on Kickstarter. It's like, no, it just means that people aren't spending as much money on you.
Right.
Your audience is your validation, right? But what if your audience is in the same pickle as you are? Shit's expensive. And you know what? It's like, look, bro, what you're making is a luxury item for me.
Right.
I love it, but it's a luxury
item.
That's
the sad fucking reality you have to face. This is the bottom. Like, it is a bottom of the barrel. It is an entertainment only.
So it's like, so maybe
that's it. We need to start making survivalist comics and financial advising comics.
Right. Well, I did see survivalist fantasy comics. They're very strange.
No, not fantasy. Like, I'm talking like real shit. Let's talk about how to make fires and which native plants you can eat.
Oh, right. I don't think it has to get that. Although that probably
why do you always shit on my ideas?
I'm not shitting on your ideas.
Shit on my ideas.
Oh yeah. So it's like, yeah. So right. Oh, it's ego or edging God out. Well, ego is definitely a huge problem. I mean, people tend to confuse ego with confidence, and they're not the same thing. They are not. Confidence is something that you build based on the reality of your situation. Ego depends on you to believe in your fallacy, in your self-fallacy, to the point of self-destruction. Confidence will allow you to move with the tide, right? However that phrase goes. Ego will fucking beat you by telling you you still have to go in this direction, and the next thing you know, you're on the rocks. It's that's and definitely saw a lot of that. I definitely saw a lot of that. But yeah, so then, so if you put your validation in your audience, right? What happens when your audience, like I said, is in the same situation as you are and cannot spend the same type of money, right? So, you have that validation in that, right? What if your validation is only like, oh, I need to get awards? It's like anybody can put out, like, I don't know, it's like they make this award or that award, and it's like, oh, I have to win that award to get the validation that I need to justify the work that I do. And it's like, well, what happens if you don't win that award? What happens? Yeah, it's like the people with the Ringos. It's like, what happens if you don't win the
You throw
Ringo?
a public tantrum. That's always a good look.
So is the validation more important than the work that you're doing? Like like these stories that supposedly you need to tell. Isn't there a manga? Wait, Delicious in Dungeon, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like it's a fantasy book of these adventurers who go into dungeons, and they have to eat the monsters to survive their adventuring. Like, so it's literally like so it's like, yeah, so they're like capturing certain monsters because they can make certain food. It's kind of weird.
And on today's cookout, we have a Pikachu pate.
Yeah, exactly. Packs quite a wallop.
A bulba salad.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So if you put all your eggs in a validation basket, what happens when you don't get that validation? does the comic that you're doing suddenly don't mean anything? What was that even English? Is the
but we get you what you're saying. We got you, Daphne.
The comic you're doing even what like does it even matter? Like people come into the creative arts. Oh, I think especially something at like comics. Oh, I have stories to tell. You know, it's like, I want to do the comics that I wished existed when I was young. I want to do the comics that I was reading when I was young. You know, it's like, there's always like, everybody always starts off with a very personal connection to the medium. Why did you get into comics? Why are you doing comics? Right? Especially when you could have just as easily remained a fan.
Right.
You know, you could have just as easily as said, I love comics. I'm just going to collect them.
That wasn't even a major issue pre-COVID. It was during COVID when everybody was bored and they're like, oh, look at this easy way to make extra money.
Well, I would
now it's become an issue.
Well, I would kind of like to think that a lot of those people like dropped off, you know, the people who thought that this was easy money, you know, I mean, you know, but then again, it's like, you know, a lot of the people who are freaking out, it's like they're kind of like, oh, my Kickstarter again. It's like
I'm not making money,
right? I'm not making money and stuff like that. It's like, I like I said, but the thing is that, like in this case, though, it's like, you know, so you could have easily have remained a fan and gotten a regular job and not have to worry about this, you know, but you didn't. So what brought you in? Like, what was it that brought you in? And why is it that that initial love of the medium wasn't enough to carry you? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So what caused you to fall out of love?
You know, it's like, because now everyone is screaming at their books, bitch, where's my money?
Ow.
You know, I mean, that's what it sounds like, right?
It does. It does.
Like,
yeah.
It's like people are screaming at these books they say are passion projects and going, bitch, where's my money? And then they're trying to pressure her to open up an OnlyFans. You know? And it's like, you know, it's like, and then it's like, yes, it's like, oh, I didn't win this award. I wasn't nominated for this award. I don't have the audience that I have. Art victim. Oh, that line. Yes, back in the day, I should have remained just a fan. I say that all the time. You know, so it's like, you know, so the idea, I think after my last campaign, you know, because it's like, look, I'm not immune to these thought processes that I can't seem to organize right now. I literally tried to manufacture a $10,000 campaign. You know, but here's the funny thing, right? That I came close. Right? But at the same time, I was really disappointed because, I was trying to do all the right things, you know?
Right.
And I still didn't make it to 10,000. Right. And then Jose,
porn check. Like, no.
You know? And Jose says, you still made
always
$7,300 on it. Hey, Chad. You still made $7,300 on that campaign.
Yeah.
You know?
You didn't hire out. You
right.
didn't have to pay writers. You didn't have to pay editors. You didn't have to pay a letterer. You didn't have to pay an artist, which is the biggest cost for a lot of people who are creators.
Yeah.
Like,
and also in the end, this is not a book that anybody can accuse me of saying it's like, oh, you just did that book for the money. You know, and then just put it to the side. Well, technically they could say that, but
it was we had fun fucking doing it.
I had fun doing it. I'm very proud of the book. I still, you know, it's on my campaign right now. If you guys missed it on the last campaign, you could pick it up on this campaign, link in the show notes. But I still had fun with it. I'm very proud of it. It's not a book, you know, the only thing that makes the book difficult to sell is the porn content. You know, so, but it's not like I'm not selling it because I'm ashamed of the book.
No.
You know? But yeah, so Jose could say, but you made $7,300 on it. It's like, stop being ungrateful. And it's like, yeah, and it's kind of hard, right? And the thing is, though, and it's kind of hard to kind of like get over that. It's like, wait a minute, yeah, he's right.
He is right. He's absolutely right.
I was so focused on something that in the end had nothing to do with anything. The validation of having a $10,000 campaign, that I actually didn't see what I actually accomplished. There was another campaign that we saw doubled their backer count. I would love to double my backer count, but the person who ran that campaign was upset because they didn't make a certain dollar amount.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But you doubled your backer count. Oh, but it was still a failure.
Right.
But you doubled your backer count.
Right. That's where you get validated.
So again, it's like, because his validation, he needed to get his validation from something else. He missed something that a lot of us would have killed for. And that is doubling our backer count.
I got one. When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze, I was like, well, at least he's not sucking a big veiny dick for Kickstarter money.
That's not how Kickstarter works.
So it's like, so are you prioritizing validation over the work that you claim you're doing out of a passion for the medium?
Right.
I mean, that's, and I think that that's why a lot of people were bugging out, that they expected validation in a certain way that they didn't get. And they're like, they don't want to confront the fact that, oh my God, you mean I have to do this because I enjoy it?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just, because honestly, it got to a point where all the arguing reminded me of my mother's building's homeowners association. It's not a homeowner, it's a building association, right? Because she lives in a condominium.
Same thing,
right?
Same thing.
So they have the building association, the condo association, right? Where it works the same way as a housing association, where it's they set the rules and regulations for how the building is, how everyone is supposed to live in the building and how they're supposed to maintain things and whatnot, right? And the most ridiculous thing that I would see, especially when like I think it was like every year they have, I don't remember if it's like every year or every other year they have the elections for new board members in the association. And there was one particular year where people just wanted to be on the homeowners association so they could say they were on the homeowners association. They weren't really there.
I'm in the cool kids club.
Yeah, like they weren't there to really take care of the building. They weren't there to make sure that everyone was like, I don't know, not turning their apartment into a slum.
Oh my God.
They were like, yeah, it's like they were on, like literally people got on the condo association and had business cards printed up that said that they were the president of the board association.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's like, so who the fuck cares? Who are you showing?
Don't you invalidate them?
Who are you showing this card to that looks at that's like, oh, you're on a housing association?
It's the guy that puts my lobsters in the bag at the seafood market, Daphne, he was impressed.
I mean, it's like because it's like, I was like going, holy shit. It's like, there is absolutely nothing more pathetic than someone trying to do something like that just to say, oh, don't you know who I am? You're the president of the homeowners association. Okay.
You're hated, bro. We hate you.
Okay. But it's like who, it's like, do you know who I am? And he shows the card, and it's like, you're what? Oh, okay. Chad goes, would you believe I was for a brief moment on the HOA as a financial advisor? Oh, bless you, sir. Oh, what was the last part? Turns out I can't use the finances at the local strip club. Well, funny you should.
But you could use your clout.
Funny you should mention that, because that was a problem on 1 year.
Oh my God. Was it really?
Year. Oh, not a strip club, but they wanted to be on the board so they could embezzle the money.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, well, people know who you are now.
Yes, they do.
He did go to prison for that. Did he, or was it for something else? The guy was all up in fraud anyway. So. But I digress. So it's like, so it's like these people were doing like really ridiculous things for the sake of this clout, this imaginary clout. And I don't know. It's like, okay, all right. I guess just to swing it back. It's like, look, why are you doing the books that you're doing? Why are you doing the work that you're doing? And really think about that, because it's like your why is that's what's going to determine how long you last doing that.
Right.
You can have the business plan, you can have, everything else. You can, you could be like HR, come up with the perfect branding, but if your why doesn't align with anything, it's not you're not going to have longevity in them. And not only that,
or you're just going to be miserable your entire career until you finally decide, okay, math suck, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like, or it's like when things change. I mean, a lot of things have changed between 2020 and now on Kickstarter. Just in this span, so much has changed.
Just in the past year.
Right. Just in the past year. I mean, it's like, did I talk about this? I don't remember. On the last show that Jose did, right? Matt Knowles was on.
Right.
And he had asked, forget about what was the difference between when you started and now. He goes, what's the difference in the environment, in the crowdfunding environment?
Right.
What was different from last year to now? For 1 year, in the span of 1 year. And for me, the answer that I came up with was that people are freaking out because they're realizing that all this time they had to build a genuine audience, and instead they chased trends for the past for the past year or so, and didn't build that audience.
That's part of it.
Because they didn't build that audience, they're having a hard time navigating the changing waters now.
Right.
So it's like audience. It's the audience, stupid. It's like, if you have an audience, you can sell anything to them. It's like, it doesn't matter what the trends are. If you have an audience, you can sell anything. If you don't have an audience, it doesn't matter how on trend your books are. Right. Your audience, you don't have an audience to sustain.
It doesn't matter who you hire as a cover artist. Although that used to make an impact.
Now it doesn't either.
Now it's like, okay, yeah, their supporters may come and get you for that one fucking cover, but that's it.
Yeah.
Then what?
I mean, right. And then it's like, yeah. And then what? It's like, oh, I don't understand it. I hired this artist because he was making X amount of money every time his cover is on a campaign. And now his art is only attracting a fraction of that. What now? It's like, yeah, what now? It's like Paul Gomez says, I did comic for the women and the money. Not really. But my kid is getting all the women and my spending money. Well, That's how it works. you know, um, you know, so it's like, so what happens when those trends change? If you have an audience only based on a specific trend,
right,
and that trend finally collapses, because all bubbles do, all bubbles burst, right? But if you're depending on your validation to come from that bubble not bursting, you're in trouble.
I will send you to Jesus.
Yes, when that bubble finally bursts, that's exactly what it's going to do. So that's what I learned was the big difference between last year and this year. Last year, I thought it was all about trends and following trends, right? That's
right.
like, if you'd have to do this type of book. And this year, it's like audience.
Oh, look,
And
even the bird agrees.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, there are times you have to understand that your audience, again, is the same as you. If things are tight for you, things are tight for them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like when getting, like, going to the grocery store and picking up 5 things costs almost $100. They might not be as enthusiastic of spending $30 on a 32-page comic.
Right.
It's like, really, it's like I go to the supermarket, I buy 5 things, and it's like, oh, it's $70 already. And it's like, I didn't buy anything. And forget it. If you have to buy, like, household items like bleach and cleaning supplies and
toilet paper just to flush away. I mean, dude, $20 for toilet paper. It's like either you buy toilet paper or sandpaper to wipe your ass. You know what I mean? And it's like,
so it's like, so you have to be conscious of your audience, because what happens to your audience is going to affect you too. So I kind of think, but again, it's like, are you putting validation too far ahead of the actual work that you're doing?
Right.
Because it's like, if you truly believe in what you're doing in terms of the work that you're doing, you will do whatever it takes to survive this, to still be able to do that work.
Right.
So maybe the option,
if your validation is contingent on being the 1 in a million, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, you're only making yourself magnesium deficient.
Not
that's
sponsored by Nature's Valley.
It's like that's way too much stress to put on somebody.
Right.
To put on yourself. It's like, because that's the big change that I had to make after my last campaign, right? Was that, okay, in the end, what's really important with what I'm doing here? Is it really making a $10,000 campaign? Because in the end, if it took a porno comic to hit $10,000, here's the problem. Was I willing to sidetrack everything else to continue doing a porno comic to keep making $10,000? And it's like, wait a minute. No, even if I had made $10,000, I'm still in the same position I'm in, because I'm not going to stop everything to continue to do more of these books because they make money, rather than finish the storyline that I'm working on now, because that's the important part. Finish the storyline, finish my story, finish my 15 issues. That was the thing, that was the real lesson I got out of doing that. I see Art Victim says, I truly believe that if an artist serves themselves first, they'll generate a better product anyways. They'll push their limits farther than the normie public would. Yeah. I agree. It's like, if you focus on the actual work that you're doing and not what you think is going to get you validation. Yeah, look, I'm not saying the road is easy. You're still going to have a hard time because it's comics. You know, there is nothing easy about what we do. Even if you're not drawing or writing or anything, you're still hiring out and have to manage. You become a manager, you know? You're a production manager at that point. And that's
bullets for breakfast sometimes sound like a good idea.
You know, I mean, so it's like there's still work you still need to put in, you know, even managing these people. It is not easy, right?
No.
But like I said, if you are positive about your why, if you are secure in why you are doing this, right? It makes it less hard, you know, when things do get hairy. Right? Something? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, Nita.
You know what, Daphne? It all makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
So what?
You know,
this is legit advice, people. Yes, we're professionals.
It's like I said, there was just a lot of things going on, and it's like, and it just felt like people were fighting for things,
right?
That in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of our things, is not really that important. If what's important is doing your book, is telling your stories. As long as you're telling your stories, that's the important part, right?
Right.
You know, I mean. And that's what we have to remember why we're doing this. Like I said, nobody forced you to go into comics. Nobody told you this was a good idea. That I know for sure. Nobody told you that this is
nobody who actually had an idea of what it's like told you it was a good idea. Right. Your mommy told you it was a good idea when she pinned your fucking first little panel on the fucking refrigerator.
You know?
But your mommy's always going to validate you.
You know? So it's like...
Well, unless she's a bitch.
Well,
like, that's for the next therapy session.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Mommy doesn't love me anymore. Next vlog.
No. My mommy watches our vlogs.
She does. See, your mommy's still putting your art on the fridge.
Right. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. So
I love your mom.
I love my mom too. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Take what JT says, now you're spitting. There are varying forms of validation for sure, but some just don't have longevity. Yeah, exactly. Because then it's like, okay, you won one award. Now you need the next hit. Now you need the next hit. Now you need the next hit. Right. It's like, okay, oh yeah, you won that award 5 years ago. Who cares? You know, it's like, what is it they say in Hollywood? You're only as good as your last project. You know? So it's like, it doesn't matter if you won an Oscar 10 years ago. Yeah, but your last movie...
I got an Eisner in 1989. Who the fuck cares? It's 2024, bitch.
Right. Like, that's kind of... So in the end, it's like, if that's where you get your validation, then that's where you're putting all your effort to chase it. You know? So yeah...
I drew a trading card for Marvel.
All I know is that the creators are not okay. No. And you know what? And you know what's funny? It's like, what is it that Paul says that really, like, you know, it's okay to not be okay, just don't live there.
Right.
You know? And it's like, yeah, way too many of you people are living there.
Take your magnesium and calm the fuck down.
Yeah, you know, it's like, look, you know, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's kind of like, you know what? Speaking of people who love what they do, hold on.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Fine, do it.
You know, let me just. Where's my thing here? Here we go. So speaking of people who love what they do. So we have a couple of campaigns I just want to shine a spotlight on before we go. So, of course, the first one, these first couple of ones, they're on pre-launch right now. So, which means that the campaigns haven't launched yet, but you can sign up to be notified. Yes, Paul. I mean, but I think it's an important quote. I really do think it's an important quote. So that means that all you have to do is just click on notify me, and Kickstarter will send you an email when these campaigns finally go live. And the first one is J.D. Calderon's The Oswald Chronicles, It Broke Free and Couldn't Read, trade paperback. Technically, this is paperback trade number 4 in the Oswald Chronicles, but Jose doesn't want me to number them like that anymore because of the way he wants people to read the stories. But technically it's the 4th trade paperback in the collection. So yes, so that's on. I think he said he might be launching this probably in a week or so. Oh, because everybody who pledged to the last tomorrow. For all we know, yeah.
That's what he does.
For everybody who pledged to the last Oswald Chronicles campaign, all your packages are out. The fulfillment is 100% done. You should be getting your books either today, start getting them today, or by next week. So so he's gunning to launch this campaign. So the Oswald Chronicles, It Broke Free and Couldn't Read trade paperback on pre-launch now on Kickstarter. The next one, speaking of Rob, so Snowpaw issues 1, 2, and 3, 19th century Scottish female werewolf fantasy is also going to be launching soon on Kickstarter again.
With what? An fucking awesome print will be in this campaign that Daphne Lanning did. Or wait, hold on. Look, Daphne, I done married your ass. Daphne Lanning, what the fuck? Okay, look.
I brought you over to Florida to meet my mom, but
our relationship is just there already. But let me finish and you'll understand why I got tongue-tied. I'm not in love with Daphne. Well, I am in love with Daphne. That's another story. Anyway, Daphne has a special print that will be coming up. Fucking Jaden Lanning, my baby, has a fucking amazing cover on this campaign.
Very nice.
Like it's fucking beautiful. If you want to support and show your support for an up and coming artist, jump on this fucking campaign and back my baby. But she also has done a print which Rob will be showing people pretty soon, which is fucking phenomenal. I'm proud.
Yeah,
I'm proud.
Yeah.
See, my baby and my lover all in one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I love you, girl. All right, keep going.
Yes, okay. All right, so next on the pre-launch is Boston Metaphysical Society Volume 1 Special Edition hardback. Everybody doing hardcovers because they're just that good looking.
Yes, they are.
I swear, I want to do another hardcover, a Tall Tales Collected hardcover. I want to also do the Eagle Raven hardcover as well. So yes, so Boston Metaphysical. Bastard. Yes, no, definitely. Boston Metaphysical Society Volume 1 Special Edition hardback of, I think, of her comic, because I also know she does novels too, but this one is for a comic. It's a graphic novel. So this is also on pre-launch on Kickstarter as well. Speaking of OnlyFans. Speaking of making comics doing OnlyFans, forcing comics to do It's like, so Isaac Fox released issue 3 of Suck You Busted, his comedy Ichi manga. And this is a guy who always says how much fun he has with these books. He works with top-notch artists, and so if you like your comics to be a little bit on the risque, but also
not a little. If you want to jump off a cliff and laugh while you're doing it. This is it's sexy, it's fun, it's on Kickstarter right now. It is live, 27 days to go, 301 backers already. So join, so Suck You Busted issue 3 by Isaac Fox and Astral Ticket on Kickstarter right now. And also, speaking of Matt Knowles, Heirs of Isildur is also on Kickstarter as well, with in its last 6 days. We both have 1 week, about 1 week to go. So 114 backers. He's almost just kissing goal right there. So help push him over. Let's help him. Let's help push him over onto meeting goal. So Heirs of Isildur, the Perilous Prospects issue 3 is book 3. I think they're volumes. Is on Kickstarter right now as well. And last but not least, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 8, a mature fantasy drama.
Thank you so much, everybody, for the 126 people who pledged to the campaign so far, raising $3,300. We're this close to hitting 4K, which will unlock chapter 2 of the novelization.
And more Jaden Lanning art.
Yes, more Jaden Lanning artwork is on this. And it will be available as a PDF and an EPUB. So if you want to read it on your Kindle reader, you can. So 4K unlocks the second chapter of the novelization for the series. But yes, 6 days to go, 126 backers. Thank you all so much for supporting the campaign. Links will be in the show notes. So there we go. So there are so 5 passion projects. Was it 5? 6? Because I don't know how to count. 6 books, 6 passion projects that that are on Kickstarter right now or on pre-launch. So if you want to check out some really fun books, they're all just all waiting for you right there. So so Nita, any final thoughts about any of this?
I just express myself as we go.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Take magnesium.
Take magnesium.
Take magnesium. It's good for you. You're deficient.
Right. Yeah, it's like, look, it's like, look, I'm just concerned for everybody because it's always
take magnesium and set reasonable goals for yourself.
That would help. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, look, I'm just a little concerned with how everyone's acting. It's like, look, I know what we're doing. It's very stressful out there, but it's like, look, we're all kind of in this together, and I know what you're going through. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. I've been at this for a long time. You guys can do the math on that. And look, and it's like, and I know what it looks like when people don't make it. Right. So it's like, yeah. So take magnesium and set reasonable expectations. Because if you think the road is bumpy now, it's only going to get worse. Sorry if I can't make it more cheerful for you, but it's like, I just want everybody to be prepared. That's what it is. There's no reason for us to do what we do and be angry about it. Let's just put it that way. You're telling your stories, it's like you're fulfilling a creative need. It's like, how can you be mad at that?
Yeah, right.
So,
and you know what? If you're not out there getting laid, you eventually self-validate yourself. You can do that with comics too.
That's true, right? Look, like I said, I do my comics for myself. Yeah, it's like, validate yourself. I do my comics for myself first. And the fact that I could share it with everybody is just icing on the cake.
It's lanyap.
It's what?
Lanyap.
Lanyap.
It means extra.
Oh. You know what it is? I keep confusing it with Ganap. Which is, yeah, you ever watched, like when the Smurfs, the purple Smurfs? So so you had the regular blue Smurfs, and there was an episode where for some reason they turned purple, and the reason and how they would turn each other purple is that they would bite each other on the tails and go Ganap.
Oh, snap.
Am I hallucinating? I think I might be hallucinating.
I did not remember this episode, but I believe
well, okay, so something like that. I don't know.
Was it the Smurfs or was it like Spike and Mike sick?
No, it's the Smurfs. It was I know that for sure. I know it was the Smurfs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think there we go. Yes, HRL, glutamine, seaweed, carotene, calcium, magnesium, D vitamins. Yeah, I think because I'm hallucinating Smurfs now. So maybe
purple
it's time
Smurfs
for us to
that.
go.
It's like I mean there was a strain of LSD that they called purple Smurf.
Right. Yeah, but I think it's because of that episode. Oh my goodness. So I just want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat today. Thank you so much for putting in all your vitamin recommendations. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much. One day one of them gets bitten by a purple fly that turns his skin jet purple, reduces his vocabulary to the single word. Okay, so I didn't hallucinate this.
Oh, look, you've been validated.
There you go. Thank you. I got my dopamine hit for the day. I want to thank all my beautiful eyeball people for watching this hour.
Whatever.
You know, it's like, I hope you got what you needed out of this, because like I said, it's like a lot of things are going on. I just didn't know how to organize it today. So we all just got to do, what is it, like freestyle consciousness together. What are we doing?
Streams of consciousness.
There we go. That's exactly what we were doing. So, you know what? Try finding that on another comic book show. And if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other stuff, including my campaigns, you're going to head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates and whatever live updates I may have at the moment. And remember that you can check out my YouTube channel at Daphne Lage Art. That's LAGE Art, for all of my videos on how I make my comics, and also my semi-weekly art live streams. And boy, am I semi-weekly now. So yeah, because I had to skip Wednesday's show. So look, I swear I'm going to do another show soon. So hopefully on Wednesday I'll be able to do another live stream. I have another Tall Tales cover I want to color. So I want to do that on stream. So hopefully this upcoming Wednesday, I'll finally have a live stream for you guys. Yes, so my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's 4 to 6, 2 hours of me working on artwork and just conversing with the chat. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I usually am pretty good at just talking about anything. So come on in and join us and have some fun, you know, while you're doing work of your own, and we could all just hang out together for 2 hours. So also in the meantime, you can read Eager Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. If you want to check out the series before you pledge to the campaign, there is also a free PDF you can download as well. If you want to check out the first issue, the first 16 pages of the first issue, again, before you pledge to the campaign. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday before it launches later on this year on Kickstarter as well, with a re-release of issues 1 through 5 and the brand new issue 6. So keep an eye out for that. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today on this Friday. We will see you back on Monday with hopefully more coherent dialogue. Oh, hey, Nicholas.
You missed it, Nick.
Yeah, yeah. So join us on Monday at 11. Thank you, Art Victor. Thank you. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business. Really, it's like, you know what? A lot of people need to do that too, because it's like, you know what? When you're looking at what other people are doing, you're just stressing yourself out, especially when it has nothing to do with you. So mind your business and do the work, because also a lot of you are not busy enough. No. If you're too busy making comics, you don't have time for nonsense that stresses you out. So do your comics, do your work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Get some vitamins in you. Take a nap, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hear me. The Thorn Valley Plan is the aspiration of idiots and dreamers. We were just talking about you.
That's refreshing, Jenner. Usually you're screaming about us.